Hi everybody, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. And okay, so you know how on the local news they have like a restaurant come down and show one of their signature dishes and show one of their signature cocktails, or they have the local bakery come down with a bunch of their cupcakes. Like just yesterday, the local news had this burger place come down, and they were and they eat the burger, and they're like, I think she actually started choking on the burger, but Woody's is great. So, um, but I want to expand this into Mox News. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you need to expand Mox News and doing bigger things." So, I thought, what I love to bring it into and what I would love to see on local television news is if they were to bring down, um, you know, local cannabis growers or local edible makers, cannabis infused treats, or someone who specializes in catering with cannabis. I've seen that on the Canadian news, and I'm sure you've seen it here on Mox News, but I haven't on the local news. I mean, you see them bring in wineries. I haven't saw them bring in Jack Daniels one time because there was some new Jack Daniels that they wanted to promote. So, and they're all drinking, and never once do they say, this is intended for adults only. So I just want to say, and Rachel Maddow, she used to mix drinks on her show all the time. So she'd show people how to make different cocktails of the week. So I would love to see cannabis in the same position as alcohol, as mixing cocktails, or local food providers, restaurants. I'd really like to see the local news stations start to go down to some of the local cannabis shops, because there's so many cool places, and it's so new, and so so many people just don't know. I wouldn't know where to go. I wouldn't know what to get, and for me, I always think that any time is the right time for cannabis, but during the season of spreading joy and Merry Christmas, being merriment and Christmas and happy, and everyone sharing with each other, cannabis is perfect for that. So I thought we would do a segment for Christmas called Mox News Cannabis Christmas. And I went down to one of the local cannabis shops here in town called Dockside Cannabis, and this place is just the most beautiful weed store I've ever been in. It's this place that's just so open. It's like the best design for a cannabis shop I've ever seen. Usually you go in a cannabis shop and you have to stand behind a counter, and on the other side of the counter, about 4 feet away, well, there's a bud tender, and then about 4 feet away is a bunch of different kinds of bags of cannabis, or shelves with jars of cannabis sitting on it, and you kind of have to like squint your eyes and see if you can read from 4 feet away what that tiny printing on the label is, or you can ask. I mean, they're nice. Can I see that? Can I see that? But here, everything's right there in front of you. And it's so open. It's like, I swear there could be like 10 people in the shop at one time, and you wouldn't feel like you're crowded. And I get the impression that they want you to come there and just take your time and find what you want, and let us answer questions for you. They have a terpene bar, which I've never seen before, which is where they let you be able to smell. Terpenes are what makes the different odors and smells of cannabis and flavors of cannabis. So there's a lot of lemon flavors, there's pine flavors, there's orange flavors, there's clove flavors, all different kinds of flavors. And they have like terpene bars where you could like look at all the different and smell all the different ones and go, oh, that smells good to me. That's what I'm kind of thing that I'm looking for. So if you don't know what you're looking for, they can help you out there. And you know what's even, you know what the best thing about Dockside Cannabis is and why I can so highly recommend it. I was talking with the manager when I was filming, you know, in between filming and getting everything put together. And the manager told me, you know what really sets us apart? I said, what is that, Damon? Wow, fire! And Damon told me, what I really think is sets us apart from everybody else is that we have a satisfaction guarantee. So if you come down and you say, hey, I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that, or Mox News told me this, come down and try this, and you take it home, you take home a jar of the Elphinstone, and you light one up, and you're puffing, and you go, oh, you know what? I don't really like the Elphinstones. He said they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You bring back all the other Elphinstones and say, I didn't like this at all. And they will help you find something that you will like. And I've never heard of that before. So they said, if you are not satisfied, so if you go to the store and you don't know what you're looking for, and you say, I'm not sure what I want, you know, I'm new to this, you know, what do you think I would like? And they'll have some questions for you, and then you go, you know, those guys are really super nice. And this is a wonderful product. So if you wanted to try a tincture, or if you wanted to try some CBD stuff, but you're afraid that it won't work, you go down there and you tell them, I want to try, you know, I'm looking for this. And they'll help you find what you're looking for. And then if it doesn't work for you, you bring it back and they help you find something else that does work for you. How much more can anyone hope for, right? So I cannot recommend Ballard Cannabis more. It's a beautiful store. It's the most beautiful weed store I've ever been in. And I can't wait to take Rufus there, because I'm sure he just want to say hi to everybody. I just thank you so much to Dockside Cannabis in Ballard for allowing me the honor and the privilege of being able to film in your store. It just means the world to me, and you guys couldn't have been more nice. And I hope that a lot of people come down and say, Mox News sent me. So when you get there, be sure and say Mox News sent me, and I bet you'll get the extra special VIP treatment. And they really do want to, they made a big point to me that that's what they really want, is to treat everybody like an individual and do their best to provide their cannabis needs. And again, I just thought that, well, I heard that some people here could really use some cannabis Christmas magic. Okay, so we got all these cool things here. And today I'm going to try out. Well, what I want to do really is I want to recommend a couple of things really highly, because I've already tasted a couple of things, and one of the things that I really want to recommend is and I will do a full review of this in the very near future, but this strawberry banana is some kind of a flower rosin. I'm not sure exactly what kind. Um, but this is the North Coast Growers, and this is some of the best weed I've ever smoked. I can't say it's the best because I've smoked a lot of weed, but the first puff of that literally blew my mind. Okay, the first puff of that was just like, it almost like everything changed, just like cannabis should be. It's like poo. I'm like, whoa. And it's just a completely different perspective. I had to shut off the television. I had a plate of food in front of me. When I took the puff, I had to wrap up the plate of food and put it in the fridge. And all I wanted to do was go and pet the dog, which I did for about an hour. So I highly recommend that, and I'll do a full review of that here in the very near future, in the next couple days. Also, which one is this? Okay, this is one of my favorite edible products, and it's not just because it's my namesake, Mr. Moxie's, bold mints, Mr. Moxie's. This has 100 milligrams of THC with 40 mints in here, right? And everybody's seen these tins of mints. You know, you have mints. I don't know what they're called, but you know, there's lots of different kinds of tins of mint. So you could carry this around in your pocket. It should never be a problem. And I love this because it's like the perfect microdose. There's 100 milligrams in the package, 40 mints. So that means there's like 2.5 milligrams per mint. So you walk around with this in your pocket, right? And then if your boss is having a bad day at work or whatever, you know, and he's like snapping at people, you go, hey boss, you could probably use a mint. Here, you want a mint? Maybe you should take two. and totally change his attitude and totally make your work life so much better. So I love these Moxie mints. I highly recommend them. And it's not just because they're my namesake. I wish that this were my company, but it's not. But I highly recommend them. Highly recommend the strawberry banana. I want to take now, this is Pioneer Squares, which there's a local like nightclub circle in Seattle, and it's called Pioneer Square. So this is Pioneer Squares, and there's 10 of them, 100 milligrams. That would be 10 milligrams each, which seems to be a nice dose for most people who don't eat cannabis on a regular basis. I usually have to eat 2 or 3 of them. Actually, I have not tried this, so I don't know what it tastes like, but I want to taste it and then and let you know what it tastes like. Ooh, look at that. This is pineapple. Pineapple. Smells so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wanted to taste this. Oh, and what I wanted to say was, if you are getting bags like this to take to your Christmas Eve party, or you know, bring to share with the family and friends, wherever it is you're going, if you're getting them to share, I really vegan and kosher and gluten-free. Nom, 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 nom. Mmm. Pretty tasty. Alright. We're going to get a bag of these to share with friends. I really want to highly recommend that you get 2 bags because they go really fast. I've been sharing them with friends. All juicy in my mouth. I've been sharing Uncle Roner's tasty treats with my neighbors, and I gave some to the UPS driver today. I was like, "Hey, dude, do you like cannabis?" Because he's such a nice guy. He drives by me when I'm out walking the dogs, and he'll be like, he'll pull the truck over and get out and give me a hug. Because that's the kind of response that I get from people. So I gave him 4 of these to try out, and that's what I'm saying. There's 10 of them in a bag. 10 of them in a bag, and if you give somebody 4, you know, and this flavor is so delicious. I don't know about lemon bars, right? But it tastes like frosted lemon cake. I've been gobbling those up. And these are so yummy too. This is really, really good. It's all tangy and delicious. It's like, it tastes a lot like pineapple juice. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so I want to recommend that you get 2 bags if you're getting the edibles to share with people, because they go really fast, and if you're going to a party, you don't want to run out of treats, right? And speaking of going to a party, I thought when picking out stuff at the Dockside Cannabis in Ballard, I thought we need something Christmassy. And one of the other things that I want to recommend here is that, see, this is a wax-filled glass jar, a wax-sealed glass jar. And this is the Elphinstone. Yes, I have brought the Elphinstone with me to the party. Elphinstone for everyone. I guess Elphinstone is a kind of a rare old school strain. I have never heard of it before, but I looked it up, and according to what I read, it's a rare old school strain. So, and this is by Kiona, and I love the packaging that they do. Now, everybody thinks it's Kiona, but I spoke with the company a couple days ago, and they said it's Kiona. I'm like, okay, got it. I think Kiona is like Hawaiian, and Kiona is probably Native American. So we got the Elphinstone, and the thing about the cannabis industry now is that probably the most important thing that I could say to the cannabis industry is you have to get away from plastic packaging, because the plastic packaging is going to be like an epidemic. They're going to be, oh, in just 5 years, there's garbage everywhere. You know how they are. So it's just going to be bad, and you got to get away from the plastic packaging. And I want to encourage cannabis purchasers to buy cannabis in glass, because that way it's not, you know, whatever. There's not plastic bag. Not that you're going to throw your plastic bag on the street, but I am seeing a lot of them in a lot of places. So I'm not honestly sure how to open this, because it's, you know, and the other thing about glass that I like is that when it's gone, then you have this lovely wax sealed, no longer wax sealed, but once wax sealed dead soldier. And you know how lots of people like to collect the dead soldiers. Lots of the alcohol consumers like to collect dead soldiers. I think I think that's pretty darn classy little dead soldier to have on a shelf somewhere. So start your collection now. I highly recommend you buy in glass. So I'm really not sure how to open this. Oh, there it goes. Oh, look at that. Came right off. Oh, so nice. Oh, yeah. So there we got a perfect little dead soldier. Oh, not dead yet. Elphinstone. I present to you the Elphinstone, my good sir. Please take one. See, imagine being at a party, you know. My dear lady, an Elphinstone for you. And I thought it was kind of Christmassy because, you know, elves and Santa, right? So we got the Elphinstone, which is the old school strain that I never heard of before. I figured we'll give that a shot. Again, the strawberry banana from the North Coast growers, I cannot highly enough recommend. And I think these Moxie mints are just like the perfect walk-around little cannabis treat. And it's awesome microdose. I think you could give it to anybody who's like not used to cannabis. And it would just like take the edge off and they probably wouldn't even notice. So, and that's the thing is, if they were to be doing this on the local news, right? You know, on the local news, like I said, they have people come down and they at their restaurant, they show their signature dish and everybody takes little bites off their signature dish and then they have a cocktail. Like, oh yeah, this is our signature cocktail. Sometimes they show how it's made, sometimes it's already made, and everybody's drinking, you know? So imagine if they were doing that with a local farm or a local cannabis shop, and they brought down a sample of their wares, and the guys were like, and they're like testing out the latest cartridge, you know, from Puffin Farms, and they're taking a puff of it, and just like they would with wine, as they take the second puff of it, saying, "Oh, that's nice. That is so nice."
Now, let me test the levels in your organic house blend. Yep, that's good shit.
What is this right here?
This is our terpene bar.
Okay.
So these are little, just like terracotta balls that have been dropped with liquid terpenes on them. So you just get like sort of a representation of what each terpene smells like.
Okay.
So our
that's like a little clay ball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So our sort of theory on this is that like if you find a terpene up here that smells really good to you, a strain that's high in that terpene is going to work well for what you're looking for. Yeah. So going kind of with the nose theory.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah,
I've never seen that anywhere before.
If you want to get some shots of this, please.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got good shots of this already.
This is one of my favorite features of our stores. Honestly.
This is really cool.
It's a really good thing to have for people who are just starting out, who aren't sure what they're looking for at all. And with the way that our stuff has to be packaged, you can't smell something before you buy it. That's one of the best ways to figure out if you like something or not.
Yeah. So you guys must do a lot of product testing then.
We do.
That's good.
Our products team has a very, very intense kind of regimen as far as
that's really good. That's really good. You should. So that's Mox News Cannabis Christmas to start with. We have lots of other products to look at. Lots and lots of flowers. We have this. this was picked out for me by the manager of Dockside Cannabis. I said if you were going to get it, because I wanted to smoke an infused, just as an infused joint, has hash in it along with weed. I said if you were going to get one of those, which one would you want to get? She said, and I said, what would you like, this or would you like this? I said, well, if you were going to get one, what would you get? And she said, I would get this. So this, I'm very much looking forward to smoking. And everything else. This right here is a limited edition weed with a limited edition jar. It's gelato. I've never tried the gelato before. So that's fun. We got the Saints joints. Oh, we got the Puffin cartridge, the Puffin Farms cartridge, and a Puffin Farms battery. And I think that we will look at that tomorrow. So, anyways, thanks very much for tuning in. If you have cannabis needs, cannabis is the greatest gift ever. You know, go ahead and it's guaranteed to make your Christmas more magical. So go ahead and enjoy it. And why is it important to me for this? Why is I think that this is important for Christmas? Is I don't know if you saw the story that I posted yesterday, but there's a story about how on Christmas Eve is like your chances of having a heart attack goes up 40%. Okay? No one needs their Christmas to be stressful. You have a couple of candies like this, and your stress level's just gonna go away. Okay? It's been proven again and again and again. So go down to Dockside, tell them Mox News sent you, and they will give you the hookup. You will be so happy when you leave, and you'll have the best Christmas ever. So we'll go over some more products tomorrow. And thanks very much to the guys at Dockside. It was a privilege being able to film inside your store, like I said. Super nice people. So stay cool. Wednesdays, this drug war is going to end completely. Till that day.